I think the recording has just begun. Okay, brilliant.
Hello, my friends. So, as I'm editing the video, I've realized that the audio on my side is really no good, is it? So, have faith, have heart. Closed captions are going to be appearing within maximum 2 days of releasing this video. And also, I'm determined to solve the audio issue, so I will be using an external mic for sure and synchronizing the audio next time. So please, don't unsubscribe and have a little bit of patience as I learn to use different software and stuff. And hopefully, our next conversation is going to sound much clearer and better than this one. Keep watching and enjoying.
So I should attempt an intro. I think I'll
Okay.
attempt an intro here. So hello everyone. I am Nandani / Aleif, which is like the name I kind of go by on YouTube because I want to be a leaf or a blade of grass. So I just thought Aleif would be a nice name for me. For quite some time now, I've been wanting to record some really wholesome conversations that I have with my friends. I'm very, very lucky and blessed to have some very wise people in my life who gave me a lot of perspective and stuff. And one such person is PJ. Although PJ and I have not interacted all that much before, or we don't generally speak too often, when we do speak, it's always just like brain food and nourishment to me. Like, Peter, you're just like really wise and really kind and compassionate and stuff. So, like, I genuinely love conversing with you, whether it's through text or calls. Okay, so this is going to be the first of the series that I want to call Friendly Philosophies. Not that any of this is philosophy, but it's friendly and it's like just talking about life and stuff, which I'm really excited about. So thank you very much, Mr. PJ, for agreeing to do this. And I
You're
hope it
most
goes
welcome.
well. So let's start our conversation. What are we talking about today?
What?
I said, let's start our conversation. What are we going to talk about today? A loaded question, isn't it?
So these questions are always hard to answer, unless you already have an answer for them.
Yeah. So, can you tell me a little bit about what's been going on with?
So I've been working from home since last June. So life's been good. I've been with my parents and started a new job, and I have started like seeing someone,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of new stimulus in my life right now.
Yeah.
And I also got COVID in March, March, April, March
Okay.
and April
Yeah.
beginning,
Same, man. Same exact time period as me.
and then been suffering from post-COVID insomnia. It's mild, it's getting better, but it's like bad enough to make me think about it and make me worry about it a bit.
And that's kind of what we reconnected on because I had been, and this is already like on my YouTube channel. So I, excuse me, have been suffering from insomnia since November 2020, and I can't say I have had many good nights of rest since then. Um, and I've definitely not had a sleep cycle that makes any sense since then. So it's, I think mine is pretty terrible. Although tonight, like the night that's just passed, I probably got my best rest in a month. I slept, I slept, rested, kept waking up for about 6 hours or so, 6, 7, 8. So within an 8-hour period, I must have slept for at least 5 to 6 hours. So it's awesome compared to my regular 2 to 3 hours of sleep. So yeah.
So for
Sorry.
me, last night was 12 to 4 a.m. and then 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. and then 7:30 to 9:30, 10 a.m.
Right.
So that was what my sleep looked like.
Yeah.
So that 5:30 to 7:30 period, that is the painful part. So you don't know what you want to do at that time. You want to just keep trying to sleep and hope you sleep.
Yeah.
Because if you start doing something else, then you're committing to not sleeping,
Hmm.
and
Which is very
that
tempting
definitely.
because, like, for me, not sleeping is so miserable, and I feel so defeated and like so um, hopeless that I get like really depressed about not sleeping, and then I want a distraction. You know, like I want to call a friend or do
So,
something.
so because
Or,
I understand, I understand what you're saying, but for me, because it's still not as, like, it's still not troubling me as much as it is troubling you.
yeah.
So I know that I will get that sleep sometime during the day, but but it's still, when I wake up at 5:30, it's tempting for me to like make use of those few hours when I'll be awake, just so that I'm more productive. But hmm. so so I have to face this dilemma every day. Do I get up
Yeah.
and try to get some work done, or do I just try to fall asleep?
And what do you
Still
tend
don't
to
have the.
choose?
I did the work thing for 2 weeks. So I just, whenever I would get up and start reading something or just doing any errands or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I just try to fight and try to fall asleep.
Fight. I love that. You fight and try to fall asleep. It's just like the opposite. Like you're supposed to relax and just like
Uh,
it doesn't feel like a fight though. It's like fuck you, brain. Like you motherfucker, just sleep already.
uh, so
God
it's a
damn.
fight against the productive part of your brain.
Wow. Yes.
Like, no, 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 it's fine. You can waste 2 hours for a day and do this for a month if that helps you get back to your normal
Exactly.
sleep thing. So you
Yeah.
have to fight that part.
Are you
It's
generally
interesting.
like super productive?
Not super productive, but again, I have waves of productivity, and I am just, but each wave is a bit longer than the last one. So I'm still learning to be continuously productive, but it's hard, especially because when you have a lot of content available for consumption.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
everybody definitely needs a break, and it's very easy to take a break nowadays. So
Hmm.
still
Yeah.
trying, but I can. I'll put myself at the 70th, 80th percentile in the
Wow.
world. Definitely there.
Wow, that's amazing. Like I would be at the 90th percentile of like total laziness, generally speaking. But I must say something unexpected that has occurred is since getting COVID and insomnia and my depression and anxiety, I like I find YouTube and all these other platforms very boring now. Like I just can't sit still and watch something. I have to like either be working out or cooking or cleaning. So like my house has never been in a better shape, and neither has my diet, and like neither has like my health. Like I'm going for an hour-long walk every morning, and then when I come back, I take a shower, and then I still like do some calisthenics at home. Like I'm journaling a lot. I'm speaking to a lot of friends. I'm just trying to. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's like suddenly I no longer have interest in those things that used to make me super lazy. Um, it's affected my brain and my it's like but I'm happy about it. I'm like, well, thank goodness, finally I'm working out. All these years of like, yeah, paying for a gym that I've barely ever went to and all that
Mhm.
wasted. Like all I needed was COVID and insomnia, and now here I am. Just
Yeah, and so insomnia changed my life, and
it did. Sure. Um, how shall we segue into our conversation about communication? Like, which is sort of like the main
mm,
topic. I mean, should I just talk a little bit about myself too? Like, yeah, as like you've just been introducing the sort of situation you are in life, I feel like
yes.
very nervous to talk about this because it's like pretty private. But then I'm like, screw it, man. Like that's the whole reason why I'm doing all this now on YouTube is because I don't see any point in not talking about these things anymore. I think they need to be talked about openly. Um,
Uh, exactly. So I mean, the only reason to not talk about them openly is maybe if someone is really not a good person and you don't want to tell
yes.
that to everyone, or if you just don't, matlab, it's just book. How shall I put it?
You can put it in Hindi if you like.
No, I don't have the
The correct
idea
expression.
consolidated in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. Okay.
Thinking about it.
I mean, I'll tell you what held me back. What's held me back is like I'm very okay with strangers' judgments and assumptions of me. I have no issue with like what strangers think of me, but I have a lot of like self-consciousness when it comes to people I know. So if I'm like sharing anything online, I get like I kind of keep it from the people I know. I've like only just started sharing my YouTube channel with people I know because I used to be so embarrassed with the content and I used to think like I'm not really representing myself well. Everything's like a bit jaggedy and faulty, blah blah blah. So it'd be easy to criticize that. But now I think also that since getting COVID and since relying so much on my friends. So I live alone. So I really need to be constantly communicating with friends to even like be a human being. Otherwise I'd just be like a flopped over human, like crying and depressed in bed all day. So the only reason why like I guess I'm surviving mentally and like able to do anything in life is because I've got a great set of friends and their love is so solid for me that I no longer fear that they would just like watch a YouTube video and then one like cut off contact with me or think I'm a loser. So I think maybe that's also helped is like my friendships and all my relationships in life are so secure now that even if like some random relative happens to find my channel, like I won't care about their opinion, but the people who I do care about, they won't like nothing I post I think will um, adversely affect our relationship, number one. And number two, like the second thing I worried about was like because I'm a freelancer and I work with a certain kind of client, which I don't really want to talk about so much on YouTube, but Peter knows that's what I do. I was afraid of being Googled and then like all these videos on depression and insomnia and mental health appearing because then people might be like, oh, is this person like not stable? Should we work with them or not? But once again, thankfully, like my reputation is so solid in my line of work that I keep getting recommended. And I'm sure I've been Googled and I'm sure that people have like some of my students have actually some of my students have actually found my channel. Oopsies. There goes the secret. And like they're not interested in watching my videos, like I'm like
And
I'm the teacher, aren't I? Like I'm not a cool person that they're gonna be like following. So yeah. I think like my fear has basically just left. I'm just like these are the kind of conversations I have with my friends. So what's the issue with posting them up? I feel like it's a good thing, and I'm gonna go back and listen to this. Like if I ever feel lonely and sad, I'm gonna be like, oh, remember that time I had like such a nice conversation with PJ? I wonder how he's doing in life now. So yeah, sorry for rambling, but yeah, what were you thinking of?
I think all of these pseudo rules set by the society, or which we think the things we should not do, as we get older, we tend to realize that they are not as strict as we have made out them to be in our mind.
That's true.
And it's just a matter of realizing that you're fine. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So let's say talking about depression or me talking about insomnia. Uh, we might think that it might hurt our employment chances if our future employer gets to know that. People might refuse. Maybe they think if I have insomnia, I'm not as productive as someone who doesn't have it, and that is held against me. Or maybe if you say you're suffering from something else, people hold it against you.
Yeah.
But if you see, once you're inside companies, at least the trend is that they, like all the big companies at least, and more companies have started offering employee assistants programs where they will help you set up meetings with therapists or doctors or whatever to help you through this stuff. So I think the
Very
trend is
encouraging
definitely
to hear.
positive.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's a good thing that's happening. And I think let's say assume in our society everybody was open about everything. They'll
Mhm.
talk about whatever problems they are facing, be it
Yeah.
mental or physical. And
Yeah.
let's say one person, due to random mutation or an idea, he stops sharing about his problems. He only talks about what things he succeeded at. So what happens is everybody in the society would assume, oh, that person is amazing. We should all try to be like that person. And so if the society started out in in an open way, we see some random mutation where the person does not talk about his failure. So we all tend to move towards that,
Mhm.
and then we stop talking about our failures because we see who people are. Uh, People think that that person is amazing, and that person doesn't have any problems. So we should
Mhm.
not have any problems.
And I would
And
add to that that um, the nature of our society with like social media and all these influencers and everything, like even if they're not influencers, even like people, regular people on social media just tend to post the highlights of their day or the highlights of their lives, right? So it's like we don't get a wholesome picture of what another person's life is like unless we're very close to them and we speak to them often enough. Um, to know that we're all just human and we're so full of like different experiences. We have moments of happiness and sadness and confusion and everything. And these kinds of like interactions where we're being very honest and speaking about things is so valuable because there are lots of people out there right now who are so isolated and the only sort of stimulation they can get is through whatever's going on in their mind or the media that they consume. So if there's more like
hmm,
positive, wholesome media out there, then there's a greater chance of them perhaps, feeling more secure
yeah.
in who
Hmm,
they are. Like when I say positive media, what I mean is like this kind of this sort of interaction where people are just talking and we're sharing things which could be considered by society to be flaws, right? Flaws or anomalies, but it's not an anomaly because so many people go through this and it's
yep.
naturally occurring and we just got to deal with it, right? Like we have to figure out how to get out of it and we can only do that if there's material available and support available, like
Hmm,
even that
yes.
like fraternity, like you and I are like insomnia buddies now, so like I'm asking you for updates and like sharing my updates with you and stuff, and it's like it's been so encouraging because as you and I have talked about, in our previous calls, insomnia is something that people really don't understand. Um, they think it's just like having one bad night of sleep or uh, something similar to working towards a deadline so you don't sleep all night but then you get to sleep later, but it's really not like that. um, yeah, so
I think
solidarity.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're not just developed enough civilization yet to talk about these things. We will in the future. We will have like it will be treated just like common cold or something.
Yeah.
At least it's not necessary. We will have medication, but we will have the process of what to do or what to expect
Mhm.
clearly laid out.
Yeah.
I know that people don't talk because I see you go online and you'll see a lot of studies which report insomnia or many others post COVID symptoms. It's
Mhm.
called long COVID, and see a lot of people are experiencing that. But if you ask people in your circle who have had COVID, no one says, "But yeah, we are fine.
Yeah.
We're fine after the 10th day. We're fine after 2 weeks or whatever." But you know that a lot of, let's say, 10% or 15% of COVID patients experience insomnia.
Mhm.
Whatever the numbers are, I don't know. I just
Mhm.
10, 15, I just said it. I don't know the exact number. But people are not agreeing to it. I've talked to 30 people who have had COVID, and
Mhm.
none of them said that they are having trouble sleeping.
Mhm.
But I suspect some of them do have it, but they'll never agree to it because they think that it's a sign of weakness or that's
Yeah.
not something they would like people to know. but I never thought it's a problem that people know I'm going through that, because it doesn't matter, right? How can they help me if they don't know about it?
Right,
And
right.
how can I work on it if I'm running from it?
Mhm.
So I
Oh,
have to,
gold. That's gonna be like the intro. How can I work on it if I'm running away from it? Shit, bro. Philosophy. Ooh, love it. Yes.
no, it's not. Like when you're getting older, we calling it philosophy, but it's like one of the few
Common
basic
sense.
things we were taught as a
Yeah.
child. It's common sense. It's common.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure. Very
So
true. Yeah. I mean, running from our problems is like it's the easiest thing to do, isn't it? But
so let's say if we never let any child see a material where mental problems or problems like insomnia, problems which don't have a clear solution, an easy solution are, so if that child never sees that society does not like you to talk about these, so
mhm.
that child is going to talk about them like any other problem he or she has.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if they are not exposed to some material which says that talking about these problems is considered bad by the society, they will talk about these problems as any other problem. Like
That's true.
I don't know, they want to eat ice cream or something. It's in the
Yeah.
same tone, the same level of frustration or whatever.
Yeah, and it'll be basically you're saying it's going to just be commonplace, right? It's not going to be a shameful thing anymore. It's going to be like, hey, here's an actual issue I'm having because it'll be seen as an actual issue
Okay,
as opposed
okay.
to.
I'll tell you my case. I have not read about this. That why do people consider this shameful? I've not read about any argument,
Mhm.
and because I've not read any argument, I do not 100% don't think it's shameful. I mean, and I'm like pretty sure I am a well-formed human being. I am a productive member of the society. I'm pretty sure I am correct here. I don't have to read it to know that I'm correct.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's the case.
Yeah, um, that's very true. Shall we move towards the conversation on communication now? Because
Yes.
you know, like, 40 minutes of gold. Just like none of this is going to be eliminated. By the way, like I'm loving all of it so far. Yeah,
Uh, just a heads up, I also didn't think it'll go on for this long. So
yeah.
I have to go in
Oh,
5 minutes, but
no worries. Yo,
if it
if you want, what we can do is we can do a part 2 tomorrow. If you're free tomorrow.
exactly, that's what I was going to suggest, that we can do it at any time of your choice. So
Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. So this has just been an introduction to Friendly Philosophies with PJ and Nandini at the moment, or PJ and Aleif. And this was, believe it or not, just the intro. We didn't even get to begin the
mhm.
matter we wanted to talk about. So this episode is just going to be called Insomnia or something like that. You know, COVID-related insomnia or whatever. Yeah, here's a 40-minute intro of just two people blabbing about
I
about
think
things.
you'll have to cut it down by a lot to have it. I don't know how hard it is
Yeah.
to increase the information density or increase the I don't know, entertainment density, so that people don't just
Well,
walk off
oh,
and
could
it's
just be a
like
podcast, right? It could just be like a companion, like you know, as you're washing dishes, you could be like playing friendly philosophies in the background. So like you know, in a way, I want to leave this pretty raw, so that you know people can just be like, this is buddy time. This is not time to like
got it.
get info, you know, like this is just like chill out, hang out with two
Yes,
people online while you're eating your meal or whatever. That's
exactly
the sort
like
of
I
like
have.
easy content I want to put out there.
Exactly like we are treating this time, so you want people to treat. Correct.
Yeah,
That's great.
exactly. So like the viewer, you guys, you are a silent partner in this conversation. At the moment. If you would like to contribute, obviously please do comment below, and PJ and I will respond. And yeah, well, thank you very much, PJ, because I know you've got to go. And just you know, yourself healthy. I hope everything goes well. And then we'll record part 2 soon, very soon. So thank you, viewers, for watching this or listening to this, doing whatever you have done with this. If this gets even like 5 views, I'm gonna have a party in my house. So let's take it to 5 views, okay?
Okay.
All right.
It's good.
Well, thank you, and I'll see you soon in the next one.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.